Now, as a human being, I think we get attached to things very easily. Like, I remember when I was a kid, like, I got attached to my toys very easily. But when a human gets attracted to another human and gets attached from just maybe one little simple hug, or, you know, maybe even doing the devil's tango, going to that point where it's literally stalker mode is probably the biggest concern I would have. And it's happened to me before, as funny enough. And yeah, basically that's what today's story is about. All right, yo, what's going on, you guys? My name's Bubba, and welcome back to another crazy story. Now, yes, as you probably saw from the title, yes, it is true. I've been stalked before. It is probably the worst thing ever. I'm not even gonna lie. And it basically all started like this. Now, back around the age of me being like 15 or 16, I believe, somewhere around there, I worked at this fast food place. Now, I'm not gonna say which, because I know my manager watches my videos from back then, and I do not want to mention where I worked. Also, if you're watching this, hi. So yeah, basically, I worked at a fast food place. I remember I just did the basic, you know, stuff there. And as I was working there, I remember there was one person always staring at me. Now, usually when people look at me, it's usually just a common, like, you know, just glance and like, wow, this kid's ugly as hell, you know, just that simple glance. But this one specific girl, I want to say, was staring at me to the point where it was actually generally creepy. Like, I'm sorry, it was like not like a normal just glance. Like, she would stare at me for like hours on end, and sometimes like even for like 20 minutes straight, just with like pure eyes wide open, just staring at me. It was just straight up weird. So obviously at first, like, I'm not gonna lie, she wasn't like ugly or anything. So I you know, the slayer I was back then, I decided to walk up to her and just straight up ask her for like her Snapchat. And yes, I know this is my move, but just wait. So basically, I went up to her. I added her Snapchat. She was really chill and stuff. She loved writing poetry. She was like a very basic, you know, typical girl, I guess I would say. So basically that night, I remember she wanted to, like, you know, talk to me all night basically. And she got my number. We FaceTimed all night. Like, we already acted like the cute generic couples that you guys see on like other platforms. They're like, ooh, ooh, like, look at my boyfriend, which is kind of cringe, not gonna lie. So yeah, anyways, she wanted to go out with me, and she was like basically saying how, like, you know, she was really attracted to me and stuff. And, you know, being the general cute girl she was, I guess. I don't know. I didn't take offense to it. But I think the scariest part that got me really concerned was how often she would want to know where I am or what I'm doing. Like, she would call me in moments where I'm even at work and she wasn't, and she would get upset because I didn't tell her I was working that shift. And it got to the point where we actually ended up getting the same shifts together at work. And to be honest, I wasn't the one who scheduled the shifts. So somehow she got along with the same schedule as me. And not only that, but she would even work the same like station as me at work. And it was just creepy. Like, it got to the point where I felt uncomfortable as hell. And at this time, I'm not gonna lie to you, like, I was creeped out. But to be honest, like, you know, she was hot, and I guess, I don't know why in my mind, but if the girl's hot, I guess like there's like a certain level of craze you can be. I don't know. I learned that, I think, on like a show called How I Met Your Mother. Shout out to those people who watch that show. If you guys know the Barney scale, or the crazy scale that Barney introduced, I kind of just referenced everything off that. I don't know why. I'm just childish like that, I guess. So yeah, I referenced off that. And I remember actually one time she was like house sitting for like, I think one of her family members or someone that she was related to, and she told me to come over. Now, yes, I know what you guys are thinking. Oh, he's gonna go do the devil's tango. And I can't lie, yeah, that was basically, I was gonna go do the devil's tango. So I remember I straight up just walked in there, and we were talking at first, and then, you know, I straight up did actually do it with her. Now, this is where I realized that I made the very wrong decision to actually go and start doing the devil's tango, because I want to say after that day, it got to the point where she acted like she was already like my girlfriend, or in some way like a part of my life full on, when I still kind of saw her as a friend that I slept with. Wow, that's really sad actually. So I remember like she was like going to that point where she was literally obsessed with me. Like, it got to the point where I didn't feel comfortable at all. So I literally remember leaving my fast food job to go to work at a restaurant that I was working at. And let's just say, like, I remember on the day when I was doing my job interview, she was literally like, I guess somehow she knew I was there, or I'm guessing it was from my snap maps on Snapchat. And she literally started like following me there, and she saw me like sit in there. And I remember seeing her out the window, literally watching me do this interview, and I couldn't focus on my damn interview. I still got the job because luckily the manager was hot, but still, like, dude, like, it was just weird. And even from there, like, I knew she was following me because I went to the mall right after that was right beside that workplace, and she instantly just started staring me down. It was just pure creepy to the point where I felt uncomfortable, where like I couldn't handle it anymore. Now, obviously, when you're getting stalked, there's one of two things you can do. One, you could call the cops and say, hey, I'm getting stalked, get me a restraining order. Or you could just, you know, do the right thing and just actually go up to the person and say, hey, quit it, like, it's weird. So I thought I could do it. So I ended up actually, you know, calling her up and say, hey, we should hang out sometime, acting like I really want to hang out, when in reality, I wanted to tell her basically to back off. So yeah, we met up at the mall when she was already there stalking me, and I told her, I said, hey, listen, like, you need to like stop, like, I'm not interested whatsoever. And I'm gonna be brutally honest, like I have like a career after me and stuff like that. I don't know, I made up some damn excuse just to like, you know, get her off my back. And I guess she had some understanding to it, which is good, you know, like I'm not complaining, like, hey, A plus, you know, I did it. At least I thought so. So I want to say like after like a month of that happening, like she did kind of back off. Like she knew like, you know, the guidelines I was at. But let's just say she had a friend that would always like keep tabs on me, which is really weird. And it's noticeable as well. And her friend always reminds me like, oh, she's madly in love with you. Like she thinks you're amazing and all this stuff. And honestly, like, I'm gonna be honest, I really don't care. Like I'm not even based like that. Like I'm usually not as savage like that. But to be honest, like when you're not interested in someone and they tell you that they're not interested, they're not. Like it's just common sense. But anyways, like I said, a couple months went by, and actually no, sorry, let me rephrase that. A couple of damn years went by. Anyways, I remember one time I went to the mall and I was just kind of hanging around doing my own thing, and actually I was with some of my friends, and I remember going to this store. Now I remember years went by and I haven't seen this girl, nothing. All I know is that her friends was keeping tabs on me. And as I was in the store, I remember I walked in and I was just, you know, kind of figuring out like, you know, what I want to wear. And if you guys don't know, I love hoodies. Like I'm wearing a hoodie right now. Shout out to the merch. Make sure you guys go buy the merch. You guys can get a Bubba hoodie. That's actually pretty fire. Anyways, like I was saying, sorry. So basically, I remember when I was going through some hoodies, I remember seeing this purple hoodie I really liked. And it was in a basic store. And I was like, damn, this is a nice hoodie. So I was going to pick it up and buy it. And I remember carrying it and taking it there to the cashier. But guess who was a cashier at that store? Apparently, it was the same chick that I slept with back at my old fast food place. Now, this was really weird because I didn't want to say anything to her, nor did I want to talk to her at all. Like, it was just like a no-no. So I remember as I was in the lineup, I straight up just ran out of there and I'm like, nope. And I put the hoodie back and I'm like, I don't want it anymore. Even though I actually did kind of want it. And I remember that same day as I was home and I was playing on my Xbox, playing, you know, I guess I was playing For Honor with some of the boys. I get a knock on my door. And when I got that knock on my door, I went downstairs and I was like, what's going on? Like, what is this? I went down there and I saw a box. Now, at first I thought it was someone pranking me because I'm gonna be honest, like I was like actually kind of worried. But as I opened the box, I saw it was something from her. And she said, hey, and she left a note in there. It said, hey, I know we had our differences, blah, blah, blah. And honestly, like I really want to like just apologize for everything that happened. And not only that, but I got you your hoodie that you wanted. And I also got you some treats. So when I looked inside the box, I saw there was 3 things. One was the hoodie, which I'm very thankful for. That is so pog. Thank you for the hoodie. 2 was Skittles. If you guys don't know, Skittles is my favorite candy. I love Skittles to death. And the last thing was a condom. Now, I don't know why, but honestly, I didn't question it because I used it the next day on someone else. Because when Bubba's got to do the devil's tango, he's going to do the damn devil's tango. And yeah, that's basically it. Honestly, moral of the story is don't stalk people. And it's just not a right thing to do. Like when someone tells you to back off or do something, like it's just usually the case of just telling them to back off. Other than that, guys, thank you guys so much for all the love and support. Thank you guys for 100K on one of the channels. You guys are seriously insane on all the support you guys have been doing for me. And crazy announcements coming soon. I love you guys. And like I always say, fall for more embarrassing stories. Yay!